Hi everyone, welcome to our Swadhayaya, our book club from PSSM USA. We have been so fortunate today that we have Sirisha from Dallas with a very interesting book. Before starting the session, deepest pranams to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patri sir and my Atma pranams to all of you, my soulmates. Without any delay, let's get into the session. So Sirisha is from Dallas, and she's been a very senior pyramid master who's been into the meditation. So I would request Sirisha to go ahead and give a brief introduction about yourself
Yeah,
and um take us into the meditation for 7 to 8 minutes, and then we can go ahead and start the book.
sure. Hello, friends. My name is Sirisha. I'm from Dallas, Texas. First of all, my deepest pranamam to our beloved Guru Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji and Pushpa for giving me this opportunity and the entire PSSM USA team, PMC USA team for this opportunity. My spiritual journey, my awakening journey started like a pandemic time 4 years ago. Directly I connected through PMC. I got connected to Patriji, so that's how I got it into PMC PSSM. From now on I'm meditating I follow all Patriji's principles. So regarding this book, when Pushpa asked me to tell about some book, choose about the book, I read many books, I read almost 100 plus books, but I never speak any sessions or I was little hesitant. But she assured me that no worries, just you can tell any just 10 points, essence of the book. That's enough. So I confidently said yes. Then after that, I got an intuition from Patriji or Universe. I say that speak about this Discover Atlantis. So actually, this need to 2 weeks ago. It was scheduled 2 weeks ago, but somehow it got postponed. I think it's all divine plan because Saturday, Sri Lakshmi Digirala madam also spoke about the Atlantis. Somehow it's same extension on that. So she made me like if you all listen to her videos, it will be little easy for it. If we are not already listened to that, I'll recommend you to listen to the Sri Lakshmi Digirala madam's why we need to meditate on uh, eclipse day. So in that video, she covered importance of Atlantis, what is New Atlantis, something related to this topic. So thank you, and we'll all we sit for meditation for 5 minutes. I'll play the music. And whoever are interested now joined and who are listening later, we all are, our past lives are in Atlantis. We took birth in Atlantis. That's how we got connected to this. So otherwise we are not here. So um, just we remember in this 5 minutes, just we got connected to Atlantean time and we remember our past lives. So just close your eyes, just 5 minutes and we'll connect with this author and the book energy. Just 5 minutes. Close your eyes, clasp your hands, cross your legs, and just observe your normal and natural breath. Your energy is Please open your hands and place it on your eyes. Open your eyes whenever you are ready. Thank you. Thank you so much, friends, for joining today. This is my first session I'm speaking on. If I speak any grammatical mistakes, please forgive me. Just I'm a little nervous also. Please take the essence only. So, yeah. First, I would like to how I got to introduction, how I got connected to with the Diana Cooper. Like almost 2 years ago, when I heard the um, transition to golden age, this book from Srinivas Reddy sir, Swadhayaya Yoga. As soon as I heard the session, I listened to session, I got connected to her and this book, and I immediately ordered from Amazon. After I read this book from PSSM UK library, I found other two books of hers, like Angel Speaks and Discover Atlantis. I read that books. So later, when I go to the bookstore, I found her another book, Ascension book. And later last year, she released Golden Age, The Golden Future, this one. So that's how I got connected to this author. So I read 6 of her books. Whatever I'm speaking today, it's not just based on this book. My last 4 years of uh, like experiences based on other every knowledge like Patrisar's wisdom and this Atlantis. Mostly, my area of interest is like newer spiritual concepts. Actually, it's not New Age concepts, but we are calling them again. We are re-remembering and we are calling them as New Age spiritual concepts. But the DNA ascension, those are all are my area of interest, and the ancient civilizations. So I listen to Western podcast also. So whatever Patriji says, East plus West is equal to spirituality. So listen to everyone. That's how I got today whatever I'm telling based on all this. So yeah, first, okay. First, I want to tell you, like, is there what is Atlantis? Is there anything called Atlantis exists? So some people say it's a myth or it's not exist. But even though if it is exist, why we should know about Atlantis? So, like, why we should know means whatever we are today based on our past lives, right? Our past lives, whatever we are learned, based on that we are today. And our future lives depends upon our present life. So same way, the civilizations, whatever the past civilizations, whatever we are today is based on our past civilizations. So that's why we need to learn about the past civilizations, and we know about our scriptures, right? We read our scriptures, whatever Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, whatever, all the scriptures. For every civilization, every incarnation, there have some advantages and disadvantages, positives and negatives. By learning those, we take only positives and advantages, and whatever they are gone through, all the civilizations gone some mistakes uh, so by learning those, we are not repeating them again. We are learning and moving forward. That's how we should know about that. Even Atlantis was also same thing. It was very high advanced civilization. uh, the first who mentioned the Atlantis, the Greek philosopher Plato was mentioned during 360 BC. That time he was mentioned about the Atlantis first. Then later, in 1627, the English philosopher Francis Bacon, he published the Ethiopian novel, The New Atlantis. So he mentioned about the Atlantis, that book called Unfinished Work of Atlantis. So because New Atlantis was not, so it's unfinished for that time. So now it's time, like whatever New Atlantis, Golden Age, Age of Aquarius, whatever the names are, these are different terminology, but the essence, all are same. we are entering into golden age. Our ancient Hindu scriptures called as golden age according to Yuga cycle. And according to Zodiac science, they called as Aquarian age. So why? Because we are entering into Aquarian cycle. So, and some philosophers say new Atlantis. So whatever the names, but the meaning and essence is same. So later, around 1930s, Edgar Casey, he mentioned about the Atlantis. He was clairvoyant and he claimed to speak from his higher self while he's in trance state. Some people say that he accessed the Akashic records. He speaks directly from the Akashic records. So he was known by sleeping prophet. So Edgar Casey claimed that the wisdom of Atlantis was stored in three different places, like repositories located in three different places. Uh, the main place is in under the Sphinx in Egypt. So many people say that under the Sphinx there is a all the library book of libraries there. It's not just about contain the Atlantis information, whole civilizations, past civilizations of all the entire Earth information is there under the Sphinx. So the second location is Bahamas near Bimini Island, and the other location is Yucatan Peninsula. So these are called Hall of Records. I mean, the main physical location may be Phoenix, under the Phoenix, but other two locations are like they are energetically. Hall of Records means same as like Akashic Records. The information, the wisdom of Atlantis was stored there. Like whenever we all are took our birth there. So whenever we raise our frequency, we connect to that frequency. For example, if I read how I got connected to this book. When I read this book, uh, my soul knows that yes, it is there. So somehow that means I am reached to that frequency. So same way we reach that frequency, we got downloads of that information. So any book, any wisdom, same way, like Edgar Casey mentioned about that. Uh, like even apart from that, many people around the world, they are discovering and researching more on ancient civilizations. Many people, like not like Patriji, how Patriji says we become a spiritual scientist, right? We say our pyramid masters are spiritual scientists, but in reality, are we scientists? No, right? The mainstream media, they called us pseudoscientists. Same way, many people, enthusiastic people, are researching more around the ancient civilizations, past civilizations. Uh, uh, Many people, if you look at YouTube videos, I'll say some of videos I follow. Uh, Jimmy Corsetti, Randall Carson, Graham Hancock, Matthew Lacroix, and many masters. So I'll say about the Graham Hancock. There is a one ancient series called Ancient Apocalypse in Netflix. It was released in 2022. The series contains 8 episodes, each one of 30 minutes. Please do watch that Ancient Apocalypse by Graham Hancock Netflix series. But in that, he with scientific evidence, he proved that he showed all the like documentary kind of series. So he showed all that the ancient civilization Atlantis was there. He did not mention Atlantis word because mainstream media they are not in our mainstream archaeologists, they did not accept him, so that's why he did not mention the Atlantis. But all that information is about, he mentions that it's a there was advanced civilization was there 12,800 years ago. So but it was all about Atlantis. So by watching that, we know we'll got to know about many concepts like pyramids. There are so many pyramids out there, and importance of the stone circles, and importance of eclipses, how they used eclipse and equinoxes, those times how they used to connect with the cosmos and connect with the downloads and like those kind of stuff. We got to know many things. Please do watch that. We'll understand many concepts by watching that Graham Hancock Ancient Apocalypse. Even the pyramids, who built the pyramids, like those concepts also. So that is about the Atlantis, why we should know about the Atlantis. So yeah, and now I'll speak about the Diana Cooper, the author of the book. Uh, so Diana Cooper is a international author, international speaker and teacher. She has been she is an 83 years old man. Still she is alive. She's a great master. She works with the angelic realms, and her mission is to connect people to angels, dragons, unicorns, and Atlantis for personal and planetary ascension. She has written more than 30 plus books that are translated into 28 languages. Through Diana Cooper School of White Light Organization, she conducts various workshops and training programs on various topics like angels, animal world, ascension, dragons, golden Atlantis, keys to universe, Lemurian planetary healing, natural world, transform your life, and unicorns. So this book, the Discover Atlantis book was she co-written with Sharon Hutton, Diana Cooper and Sharon Hutton, with the presence and under the guidance of Master Kumeka. He is the eighth ray master. Like if you know theosophic concepts, like if you read about the theosophic concepts, or we know about seven ray masters. Patriji also says that read the theosophy books also. So, but during Atlantean time, all of our 12 chakras, all of our 12 strands of DNA, and 12 ray masters energies from the cosmos. So, all are active. But during after this Atlantis was collapsed, now we only has two strands of DNA. So same way, like only seven ray masters energy were there. Once the energy shifted and like later years, it's called harmonic convergence in 1987. After that, the energy shifts into next level of dimensions. Later, one by one, even the masters, eighth to 12th ray masters, they started sharing their light and working through humanity. So, like that, the Kumeka, he is the eighth ray master, and his Lord of Light is his ray is for clarity, brings clarity and deep transmutation. So, yeah, he used to work with like Sharon Hutton. She used to see with her physical eyes the master, but Diana Cooper, she got the downloads to the master. They both written this book through Lord Kumeka, Eighth Ray Master. So now, after harmonic convergence, yeah, the people's like humanity's frequency is increased, so that the masters race are started to share their wisdom. Next, what is the aim of this book, the purpose of this book? The golden Atlantis, the Atlantis was 2000 2400 BC to 10,000 BC, the actual total Atlantis period. But out of that, only 1500 years was called Golden Atlantis period. So it was all part of First, I'll tell you the aim of this book. Read the In Golden Atlantis for 1500 years, the spiritual energy on our planet was highest it has ever been. It was a time of heaven on earth when everyone had incredible spiritual power. Now we have the opportunity to bring the energy of pure Atlantis back. Diana Cooper and Sharon Hutton were asked by their guide Kumeka to explain extraordinary gifts, qualities, and the powers that existed in the Golden Age. They were also asked to include special exercises in the book that will allow you to develop these skills for yourselves. So in this book, every chapter they give some exercises so that will experiment, will improve those qualities, will activate those qualities. Uh, okay. I will read this chapter because this is most important. I will first read this chapter and I will explain. Actually, this Golden Atlantis was all part of intergalactic experiment. We all know Patriji also many times mentioned he is a representative of Intergalactic Federation. So all these experiments was made under the guidance of Intergalactic Federation. So I'll read this chapter and I'll explain the later. Atlantis was landmass between Europe and America, which is now submerged beneath the Atlantic Ocean. For 240,000 years, this continent was subject of divine experiment to see if people could live in a physical body and still keep their connections with the God source, creator or the source or God source. Throughout this long period, tests were set up in number of different ways, but each time they were terminated as it became clear that humans with free will move deeper into matter and self-destruction and further from their source. When the conditions were reset for fifth and the last time, Golden Atlantis emerged for a period of 1500 years. The people maintained their purity and oneness with their creator and enjoyed awesome spiritual, psychic, and technological powers. This book explains how they lived, their practices, and what we can do today to return to that state. Originally, the source sent out aspects of itself, known as divine sparks or monads, into all dimensions of the universes to experience and grow. The intention was that they would ultimately bring their experiences back to the Godhead. Some were to come to Earth where they would have freedom to make their own decisions, such as vast undertaking needed to be managed. An intergalactic council made up of cosmic energies was formed to oversee the operation. Earth was always a special place, for it was pivotal in balancing the energy of our universe because of its connection to the great central sun. It was they remain totally psychic and telepathic and maintaining their pure energy and oneness with the source. But as the time passed, their essence became discontented. They could perceive as all spirits can, but they wanted to experience senses. They had never made love or touched a blade of grass, nor had they tasted food, smelled the sweetness of rose, or felt the soft texture of loved one's cheek. They long to know what it is like to go deeper into matter with physical body, to enjoy a touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. The petition source for this. The source is knew that if this was access to, the physical beings could become self-indulgent and hedon- hedonistic, that the allurement of the senses might tempt them away from their spiritual wisdom into illusions of the flesh. So the deal was offered. They were told that their request would be granted on certain conditions. They could incarnate to partake on all senses as long as they agreed to feel the related emotions. With the granting of their request,
Sorry, can you unmute? Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
with the granting of their request, each soul divided into two beings, one masculine and one feminine. In order to reproduce, they now had to copulate with another human of the opposite sex. At last, they had an opportunity to see, touch, hear, taste, and smell, and to feel emotions. For these beings in bodies of flesh, the continent of Atlantis was prepared, which at first linked to Africa, Europe, North America, and South America. Those brave ones who were the first to take male or female form as we know it were the earlier Atlanteans. An extraordinary new divine quest was underway. The eternal longing of every human to find his or her other half began. Atlantis became the longest and greatest civilization on Earth and the lasted for 250,000 BC to 10,000 BC. During this period, the Intergalactic Council terminated the test several times. On the first and second occasions, the people lost their connection with their divinity and descended into bestiality and use of the black magic. As no progress had been made during the first two attempts, for the third experiment, the Intergalactic Council decided to repopulate Atlantis differently. This time, they prepared the continent as a veritable uh, cornucopia of the delight. Settlers were invited from the universes, and everything was given to them. Homes, temples, and all they could need or want awaited them. They brought amazing technological and psychic skills with them and had very little to learn. At first, they were totally cosseted, and within a relatively short time, the new arrivals divided into two camps. Some became lazy, hedonistic, and grasping. They were known as sons of Belial and sought physical and sensual gratification of every description. Greed, lust, envy, gluttony, and violence became their driving force. These were the people who originated the concept of seven deadly sins. The children of the law of the one, on the other hand, sought to maintain their connection with the divine, knowing that their purpose was to remain one with God. They focused on love, light, balance, purity, justice, and cosmic wisdom. The schism between two factions inevitably led to conflict, and despite being given so much, disharmony arose. Another problem occurred during this epoch. As a result of evolution, animals became huge, and giant elephants, mammoths, massive cats, enormous horses, mastodon, vast Komodo dragons, and birds started to overrun the planet. Masterminded by an entity from another world, they became very aggressive. This made life on the surface very difficult, and the people tried all peaceful methods to control the animals without success. Eventually, a five-nation conference was organized to discuss the situation. Using the powers that were available to them, delegates teleported from Russia, Sudan, India, and Peru to Atlantis. Such was their desperation that they resolved to create a series of nuclear bombs, which they hoped would kill the bees. We no longer understand the exact makeup of these bombs, but in 52,000 BC, they were detonated underground, resulting in massive earthquakes, the repercussions of which caused the creatures to perish. However, it also upset the balance of nature, and people could not survive either. So the inhabitants of the earth died, and their spirits returned to their home planets. As a consequence of this disruption, in 50,000 BC, the earth shifted to on its axis, and Atlantis became five islands. In 28,000 BC, the Intergalactic Council met and, in their wisdom, decided once more to reseed Atlantis with physical beings, men, women, and animals. Again, an invitation was sent to the universes, and beings arrived from many other planets and galaxies, most of which are unknown to humans today. Only few of them were the spirits of Lemurian Lumerians who originally populated Earth. This time, the council decided that it was not helpful to make life for the volunteers so comfortable when they arrived. The people came in with all the practical and psychic skills they would need in place, but their homes and temples were not built for them. They had to create their own, and this joint undertaking bonded them for the short while. Priests who had been specially trained in preparation for this challenge had advanced knowledge with which to help the volunteers. However, this venture deteriorated in the same way as it preceded, predecessors. The children of the law of the one sought to maintain their divine connections, but the sons of Belial, who had returned to incarnation, became much stronger than the pure ones. These people had become disconnected from their hearts and used technology and black occult power to disempower and control the masses. Many of the sons of Belial have subsequently reincarnated. Hitler, uh, Genghis Khan, and Mussolini were three of them. Saddam Hussein is another. Throughout history, other sons of Belial have continued to return to earth and often remain in the background, influencing spiritually weak leaders. This is happening even now. The fourth experiment ran for 10,000 years until 18,000 BC, when the Intergalactic Council decided that because of the gross misuse of power, Atlantis must end again. They choose to move the Earth's magnetic pole using the instrument of the comet to facilitate an abrupt termination. This created an ice age, which was the form of purification for the planet. The landmass was reshaped once more, and the five islands of Atlantis now became the significantly smaller, with only the high places remaining to form a chain of islands linking to North America. As soon as the previous age ended, the Intergalactic Council started to plan an entirely new phase of Atlantis. While they deliberated for a period of 2000 years, the planet was cleansed and detoxified by the Ice Age. Atlantis had become much smaller and it clustered in the center of what we now know now as the Atlantic Ocean. Bermuda, the Canary Islands, and Azores are few of the remaining parts of the great continent. Lanzarote was also a physical part of it, but was never peopled as part of the project. Despite previous aborted attempts, the council had high hopes that this time the new immigrants to Earth would maintain purity and high level of spirituality. For having learned from the previous experiments, this one was to be set up in a different way. The Intergalactic Council decided that to enable the purity of the mission to be maintained, the area containing Atlantis must be set apart and protected. This would also mean that new possibilities could be tested in controlled environment. At last, the plan for the Golden Age was put into place. First, the Intergalactic Council built the Temple of Poseidon, sometimes known as Cathedral of the Sacred Heights, which contained great crystal, the generator crystal of Atlantis. The temple was created in the cradle of Atlas mountain and formed a seventh peak. These peaks symbolizes the seven pillars of the universe, which are the seven spiritual laws or cosmic energies that govern humanity. The seven spiritual laws are the law of one, the law of karma, law of manifestation, law of grace, the law of unconditional love, the law of intention. The Intergalactic Council was the architect of Atlantis. They worked through 12 highly evolved souls, high priests and priestesses, who took physical bodies that vibrated between the fifth and sixth dimensional frequency. They were collectively known as Alta and were the master builders who made all the practical earthly decisions about the setting up of continent while taking general instructions from the council. For example, they channeled the spiritual laws for earth through Thoth, who was one of the high priests of Atlantis and was later worshipped as god in Egypt. Atlantis was divided into 12 regions, each one governed by one of Alta. So naturally, each had a different focus. In earliest days of golden times, only these 12 great initiates could enter the temple of Poseidon. At the start of this final experiment, The volunteers arrived as strangers to each other in bodies which they had never before experienced. This time, the Intergalactic Council realized that if the volunteers to Earth were going to maintain their divine connections and learn from being in the body, they would have to cooperate, share, and work together. This would help them to maintain high frequency. So only water, earth, plants, and trees awaited them. Nothing else was prepared. For 15,000 years during the Golden Period, the Intergalactic Council and the Illumined ones throughout the universe watched with awe as those incarnate in Atlantis maintained divine simplicity, performed incredible technological feats, and developed wondrous spiritual powers. These settlers from all over universes brought heaven to earth and created the highest spiritual time there has ever been on this planet. However, eventually history repeated itself. Control, lust, cruelty, and greed overtook most of the people. Despite many attempts on the part of the council to help the planet, at last, decision was made to terminate the Atlantean experiment for the final time. In approximately 10,000 BC, Poseidon, high priest of Atlantis and god of the seas, declared that Atlantis must be flooded. An event recorded in the Bible and other literatures of the world. The great continent finally disappeared under the waves. Some spirits returned to their home planets, but those who caused the destructions were inevitably tied to earth until they redeemed their karma. The high priest and priestesses who later became mythical gods in Egypt and Greece. So 6 of them got moved to Egypt called Egyptian gods and 6 other called Greece gods. Led those members of their tribes who were pure and willing to various parts of the world that had been specially prepared for them. 12,000 years later, we have once more developed the depths of human degradation. For eons, the planet has been so dark and heavy that the Intergalactic Council could not reach us without doing great damage, which they were reluctant to do. Now, at last, humans are looking towards the spiritual, with resulting upheaval and turmoil as the shadow of humanity is released. The planet is becoming lighter, and the angelic forces and higher beings can connect with many of us once more. The incredible spiritual wisdom and technological knowledge of the pure Atlantis has been recorded and stored. Many of these great ones are now returning into incarnation at the start of the Aquarian Age to facilitate the return of the energy of the pure Atlantis. It is time now for those who are ready to access and bring back this light and to enable the energy of the golden times to return. So this was actually how Atlantis they experimented. Like many spiritual enlightened masters say, planet Earth is a school. We are here to learn the lessons, experiences. Many masters, even Patriji mentioned many times, Dolores Cannon, she always mentioned Earth is a schoolroom. We are here to learn experiences. So like that, the Atlantean Intergalactic Council, they made they tried this 5 phases. Whatever I read, that they trial in the 5 phases. So last, whatever the golden Atlantean time, 1500 years, that was the last they terminated because of the for 1500 years was gold, like they used to live in very harmonious. Uh, Mainly Atlantis was based on crystal technology. So one main crystal used to be there, and the 12 high priests and priestesses, they different. Each one has a different crystal. So all the 12 crystals got connected to main crystal. So everything they used with everyone has a psychic abilities, more spiritual they all have many spiritual abilities, but what is a lack in there is that soul knowledge. Like they have spiritual concepts. Like if you even if you look at the if you listen to the Western podcast, they all are very psychic. They have psychically they are very advanced than us. But what they lack is the soul knowledge. That is main important. So now what Patriji's taught us, like he's taking us through soul knowledge, not the advanced psychic knowledge or spiritual. I mean, spirituality means all that, but the soul knowledge is most important. So what made Atlantis collapsed means that they had all the psychic abilities, they used all the advanced techniques, all the uh, crystal technologies, everything they had, but they eventually, lack of soul knowledge, they wanted power, greed, so that even that also has collapsed. So now what New Atlantis is like, in my understanding, uh, and I'm following from Patriji, like I listen to all the masters of, I mean, I say my point of view, what New Atlantis is. Even the Atlantean time also, they used to harmonious with the animals, plants. Like if they want to take out the branches or cut the plants, they used to take the permission of the plants. So if you want to trim the plants also, before asking trim the plants, they used to take the permission. So please take out your energy, withdraw your energy so that I will trim your plants. So that's how they used to live harmonious with plants, even animals also. If they want, like they know that if any animal is going to look at his body, before only they take the permission, that they all have psychic abilities, right? They teleport, yeah, so they know that that animal is going to die. They take permission that uh, can I use your skin to make the instruments, or flocks or feathers to use art, kind of, to use the art, so those kind of things. Everything they used to live harmoniously and take permissions with the animals and plants. Everything they used to live like that. So even uh, but later, because of lack of soul knowledge, deeper spiritual knowledge, because of power, everything entered, so that got collapsed. But now, my perspective of what is New Atlantis, I'll tell you that. Mm, like if you listen to Patri, I mean, last 4 years I'm following Patriji, his wisdom and all the masters who shared initial days, like with Patriji, whoever traveled with Patriji, particularly to what is that? Uh, Trekkings. Whoever went go to trekkings with Patriji, they all, if you if you got a chance, listen to the masters' experiences. Patriji to Na Prayanam, the spiritual journey with Patriji in PMC. So if you listen to those masters, like who went to trekkings with Patriji, they say that like Patriji used to take them into deep forest. They used to oneness with the five elements, with the nature, mother nature, and with the plant kingdom, animal kingdom. Like some people used to say that, I listened that when they wake up in the morning, they used to see the crops under their bed sheets, but they never harm them. So that's how, like, if you are one with the nature will take care of you. uh, that is what oneness with all the kingdoms. And oneness means, if we see any animal, no need to go and hug them. Just we need to be compassionate about them. If, for like Mother Earth, for how my both kids are equal to me, for Mother Earth also, all the kingdoms are equal. Planet, mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, or human kingdom, all are equal. But we humans think we are superior. So, in fact, we cannot survive without other kingdoms. But without humans, the planet Earth will survive very beautifully. If you take, for example, the pandemic time, so we all inside, but animals used to roam freely. Without plant kingdom and animal kingdom, we cannot survive. So New Atlantis means that. Golden age is that. Even if you read the Sita Mata, um, untold story of Sita, how Sita Mata got connected to nature, and she used to communicate with the nature, she used to live with the nature, one with the nature. Um, that's what I think New Atlantis is, being one with all the kingdoms. I mean, yeah, that's it's my understanding by following Patriji. Because whatever book I read, wherever I go, even I listen to many things, many masters' videos, but still all points comes to Patriji's wisdom. When I read any book, when I listen to any masters, oh, I think again come back to Patriji. Oh, Patriji said this because of that. I again come back to Patriji's wisdom and connect it to that. So, without saying New Atlantis or Golden Age, Patriji showed his life. Not even say any single, I mean, he did not mention anything, but he showed the way of his life. By observing him, observing, even I did not meet him personally, but I got awakened during pandemic time. So, only all I see Patriji through all the masters, all PSSM masters. Maybe that is the reason I choose life like this. Because if I meet him, Patriji, in person, I cannot handle his demise. Maybe that's the reason I choose to awaken this time. But in my perspective, New Atlantis or Golden Age, whatever, we need to be one with all the kingdoms, compassionate with all the animals, everything, not just humans. That's what I'm telling, right? Without humans, the planet Earth will survive so happily. Only, but without them, we cannot survive. So, uh, this is what I wanted to convey. I don't know I'm able to express clearly or not, but in my perspective, New Atlantis is this. We need to bring back this. I mean, uh, from whatever I understood, Patrici and this books, everything. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to convey.
Thank you. Thank you, Sirisha. Yeah, it was wonderful to know. Like Atlantis itself is a new word, a new world to me personally. Except for I watched an Aquaman that person said, "Oh, I'm from Atlantis." Okay, I was thinking, okay, Atlantis is something underneath the sea and all. But it's so surprising to know such a evolved 12-stranded species. I mean, people has become to the two-stranded with all of this, passions like Arshad Vargas, right? So he beautifully explained definitely the loss of the nature, and then how the Atlantis people, had the relationship with plants and animals. It's really wonderful to know. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Actually, she explained all the chapters. There are 32 chapters, but if you want to read, you can read this book. Just I wanted to share the essence of this book and what is the New Atlantis. I mean, what people don't know, just they know the word about Atlantis, but they don't know what is New Atlantis is. So I want to make them know that New Atlantis is nothing but same concepts, whatever Patriji taught us. Without, I mean, he did not teach us, he showed the way, his life. If you observe him, his entire life, he lived like that. That is, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I want to convey.
yeah. And you
If
also
they want
mentioned,
to read more, they can, yeah, this is homework for them. So if you want to dig deep, you need to work out yourself. And there is a movie called The Atlantis. uh, Atlantis, The Lost Empire. It's an animated movie. If you watch that, you can understand how the last 1500 years of Golden Age was. Like same thing. It was an experiment. They used to kind of dome kind of things. Total was experiment, right? The intergalactic, but all the people are from different planets. Even animals are also different universes and different planets. Each one has their specific purpose. So even, yeah, I wanted to mention one more thing. Each animal has carry some wisdom because each animal come from different planets, right? They carry their home planet wisdom. So by connecting with them, we are able to download this information within us. So that's why Patriji give more priority. His main is Patriji's purpose of incarnation is to save the planet Earth, to save the animal kingdom. Because if animal kingdom can, if we keep on harming them, the planet Earth cannot survive. There are so much of wisdom they carry, and they're most important for the planet Earth to survive also. Even we came from different planets, different constellations, different star systems. That's why each have different connect to different wisdoms, different masters. No one is perfect with all the. I mean, they don't know all the wisdom, right? So, and one more thing, mainly dolphins and whales carry the Atlantean wisdom. During ending of the time, some take the form in the form of dolphins and whales. So when our humanity's frequency is once raised, uh, when we go to them, we got downloaded from them the wisdom. Even anything like if we connect with the masters, also we get downloads, right? Wisdom. So same way we get connected to animals. Each animal has different carry some wisdom, some different frequency. Same thing. And the water has memory, right? So once the humanity is ready, they release the information through water. So there is so much to learn. So if you want to know more, you can read the book, and at the end of the each chapter, she gave the exercises. And many of her books, like she, her purpose is like mostly for ascension, right? She speaks about angels, dragons, unicorns. So those are all sentient beings. And during end of the Atlantis, the all their wisdom I mentioned you, right, all the wisdom they um, kept under the Sphinx. So why that Giza pyramid was built based on um, a star system, constellations, so many cosmologies there behind. I cannot explain clearly. So, but I can say why Patriji gave more priority to the pyramids because all the wisdom they kept under it, and whatever the pyramids we build in India, Patriji used to connect all those pyramids to Giza pyramid. So we meditate under the pyramid, we got downloads like through cosmology, right? So through cosmic energy. So we meditate under the pyramid, we able to download different planets because we came from different planets. We forgot all the our home planets and planets information. So if you meditate under the pyramid, we got connected to our home planet and we got downloads. We are able to, if you read, downloads means what? If you read one book, right, you're able to understand that book. It will activate from inside. If our frequency is not that, even if we read that book, we don't understand that book. So that's how Patriji, uh, he established and he reactivated the Giza pyramid because that time it got all the dark was overtook that. But later, when Patriji visited with many masters, he reactivated that Giza pyramid, and later in India, he got connected all those pyramids to Giza pyramid. Uh, that's how all the pyramid masters able to. If you look at the even go to the villages also, they speak more about astral travels and many masters. How like because they choose voluntarily come down, but we meditated under the pyramid, so we're able to access that information through cosmos. I mean, I don't know I'm able to express clearly or not, but whatever.
No, you did really well. So, I mean, though it's like you're actually connecting the dots between all, like whenever you say, okay, Patriji is connecting. It's wonderful. I know we wanted to listen more from you, Sirisha. Actually, you have a, you know, a treasure of all of the knowledge with, you have read so many books. Definitely, it's really, really helpful to understand. If you would like to, continue for the next week session, if you want to, throw more light, we would love to. Yeah, madam is library. Yes. So, yeah, we'd like to hear more from you. So, yeah, you can let me know.
I mean, whatever I want to convey, essence of this book, I conveyed. Mainly, you said right. Just you want to essence, but if you want to go deeper, maybe I'll take one more session. Yeah, I'll promise that I'll improve myself, and I'll take. I'll improve myself to convey even better way. So this is first session. So I'm trying to overcome all this. That's why whenever I get the opportunity, if you ask me, I'm saying yes, Patriji's word. Whenever I'm first, a thought comes, I say no, but immediately Patriji's word, it comes to my mind. Pyramid Master never say no. He always says yes for everything. So that's how I'm opening up myself and taking opportunity, whatever comes to overcome my, even though I speak wrong or something else, it's okay. uh, I'll improve myself. Even without opening up, I cannot improve. Always be like this, right? So that's why I'm taking up whatever comes my way.
No, no. I mean, we wanted to listen more, so that means you have done pretty good. So, and what I'm interested is, like you said, there are some exercises at end of the each. So probably, that helps everyone to, go through that exercise and check. I don't know what is that. So that's where I'm more interested in. So,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so anybody have any questions? We are at time. Okay, I don't see any hand raises. So Swayam, do
Yeah,
you?
thank you, Shirisha. Session was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge about this book. I also wanted to know about Atlantis. That's why I attend the session, even though I'm in vacation. I heard here and there.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. Like, watch the
Fun.
movie and those ancient apocalypse in Netflix series. If you watch that, and Atlantis Lost Empire, it's an animated movie. If you watch those movies, if you know something, right? Even I do research like that. If I listen some word from any session, I got connected to that word. I go search in YouTube, I mean Google, whatever that takes me to there. I'll go research that way. That's how I'm able to understand all these concepts, because by reading one book or one video, we cannot able to understand. So by listening all those, Patriji always, that's why he says, listen to every masters, read every book. It comes from inside. The dots will comes connect with inside. So yeah, to understand little bit what is Atlantis, how it will be. Actually, I watched this yesterday. I'm looking for the any documentaries to share. I found this movie. I watched this yesterday. So yeah, Atlantis, the golden Atlantis time, the Atlantis was there exactly same way. Expert huge metal and crystal technology. So you'll understand little better. And ancient apocalypse, you'll get lot of concepts. By watching that, you'll able to understand many concepts. That's I recommend to watch that series. It's Graham Hancock series.
Sure, Shisha. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Pushpa, for organizing these sessions.
Thank you. Thank you, Swayam.
We can learn more from movies. If we know a little bit, if we watch that movie, it will be very easy to understand. Even Indiana Jones movies, they cover many spiritual concepts. Even Indiana Jones one movie, Indiana Jones and Kingdom of Crystal Skull. That movie, all the crystal skulls are from Atlantis. I mentioned you right. There are 12 altars like high priest and priestesses, each carry each crystal skull. So all those 12 skulls connected to main crystal. So
Okay.
that movie also speaks about that. So like that,
What is the movie, Shirisha?
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of Crystal Skull.
Kingdom of Crystal
Skull.
Skull. Okay. Okay.
Indiana Jones movies are 5 movies, I think. This one is 4th.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, many movies, many things. Yeah, even that main crystal, people say even Madam Blavatsky mentioned in her book that Atlantean main crystal was sunk in the Bermuda Triangle. That's why that is so powerful. It was there now it was inside the under the Bermuda Triangle. So once the Earth reached to the frequency up to the level that crystal will come out.
Okay.
I mean, it got activated again. We'll get the new Atlantis. But what new Atlantis is with the spiritual soul level knowledge. Even the Atlantis was also spiritual knowledge, but they don't have soul level knowledge. Just technology wise, psychic with the psychic abilities they used to live. But what we now we need to learn is with soul knowledge. We have proper soul knowledge, right? Even though we have psychic abilities, we don't misuse them. We know that we should not use them. So that is what we now we need to learn is that soul level knowledge. Thank you all. Thank you so much for the messages. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions? I saw Guru has unmuted, but okay. Ratna? Ratna, you want to share anything?
No, Annie.
Okay. Okay, never mind. Okay, Sirisha, I think we will close the session for today. And so I would like to, maybe you can text me the books or like, whatever is related to the Atlantis. I'll post it in the group for everyone. The movies and then, the other books and author names. Also, you mentioned some of the author names in the beginning. It's wonderful. Yeah, probably if you want to continue for the next session, I'll be happy to have you for the next session and go a little bit deeper into the Atlantis.
Yeah, sure. Next week or some other week.
Any time whenever you're ready.
Okay. Whenever is available, you can text me. I'll do that. Thank you, Pushpa. Thank you for encouraging me and giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. And the entire PMCUSA team.
Thank you,
Preeti and
Sirisha,
Patanjali.
for coming in.
Pushpa, is this recorded? Because of work, I couldn't join. I just joined and it is ended now. So, is this recorded?
Yes, there is it's a live session actually. There is a in PMCUS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a recording.
Okay, thank you. I'll have a look at it.
Okay, Ratna. Okay, then we will close the session. Sirisha, thank you so much, Sirisha, for coming and giving this wonderful.
Thank you. It's my bless. I mean, I'm so fortunate for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you all for
bye.
your wonderful messages. Thank you all for joining and encouraging me. Thank you.
We wanted to listen more from you, Sirisha, for sure.
Sure, sure.
Okay, yeah, thanks.